Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! What a beautiful evening it is out there tonight. You guys can probably see the sun shining in through my window. Thank you guys so much for joining me this evening to have this conversation once again with so many wonderful people who love Descendants of Zombies with all their heart. I was at the movies earlier this afternoon, and I must say the Yoshi popcorn buckets that they're selling for $45 plus tax at the movies as part of the Super Mario Galaxy merch line are really adorable. They are the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. And, you know, it got me thinking about how you guys spend all your time and all your effort on the Descendants of Zombies merch. And I think that's so cool how you want to wear that Descendants of Zombies Worlds Collide Tour hoodie that you've probably never ever taken off. The Descendants of Zombies dolls that you spent your entire life and probably your life savings that you've saved up for forever to buy. That's really cool, and that's what makes this franchise so inspirational and shows so much incentive, and I want you guys to continue to follow your passions. If anything you ever take away from every video that I ever record, I want you guys to continue to follow your passions because you only have one life to live and only ever so many opportunities to really enjoy that life you've been given. And I think Descendants of Zombies really gives us so much incentive to enjoy the honors that we've had the chance to experience together, all the moments that we created together through the power of such things like this YouTube channel. I say this because I really had the time of my life, and the only hope that I've ever had when I create a thumbnail is that somebody's going to click on my thumbnail and they're going to love my videos to death with all their heart. And knowing that you guys have been so well receiving of these videos and they've always held a special place in your heart makes what I've done as a YouTuber for over 25 years. YouTube premiered back in 2005, and I was hosting radio ever before that. But when YouTube first premiered back in 2005, the only hope I ever had was that somebody was going to watch my videos, was going to listen to my podcast. And 25 and a half years later, I'm sitting here talking about Descendants of Zombies, feeling like I'm wandering through the forest of Oregon, like I fell down through a rabbit hole. And ever since feeling like I fell down through a rabbit hole, sharing with you my stories of inspiration about Kylie Cantrell and how she thinks she's the strongest person in the world and how I think Ruby Rose Turner is so strong also, but also genuinely sweet, is what makes these videos so special. Ruby will always hold that honor of being my favorite Descendants character because ever since becoming my favorite Descendants character, she's shown me so much incentive and given me so much inspiration to be kind to people I surround myself with every day. I believe to this moment that I'm a better person because of what Ruby taught me and gave me so much appreciation for what her character represented. Of course, we know Ruby for being a character that endured a lot of bullying, who was trying to really send an emphatic message of how kindness can really touch a person's heart and how much further kindness can take a person in this lifetime. Because the one thing I very quickly realized and appreciated, found time in appreciating about this niche, is that from within this niche, there are so many kind people that exist within this niche. And if you give yourself a chance to fall into this niche and become a part of something so special, you will never have any regrets. I say this because fans have been watching these videos every night, and they've been listening to me suffering from a zombie infection, which happens every night after 6:15 p.m., which I have no idea what's going on or what's happening to me, which I've apologized for many times. But that's what's allowed me to really bring these videos to life as the sun sets behind me, because you never know what I'm about to say or how I feel about Descendants of Zombies, and I think there's value seen within that. And as long as there's value coming from your videos as a content creator, that's what makes every video you've had the honor to go on to create and produce and eventually upload to your channel. I spend hours creating Descendants of Zombies videos from dawn until dusk. And the reason why I spend hours creating Descendants of Zombies content for you guys from dawn until dusk is because there's a certain appreciation that you not only have to have for Descendants and Zombies as franchises and their cast members, but you also have to have a great deal of appreciation for the fans. And you've got to understand where they're coming from, why their favorite character is their favorite character, why their favorite moment was always their favorite moment, which could have been when Zed and Addison laid eyes on each other for the first time ever in the zombie safe zone and she punched him in the face. Because upon punching him in the face, she realized she had found that true love and she would sacrifice everything, even if it meant life and limb, to be with that one person for forever. And I think we saw forever in that friendship, which made it so special both in front of the camera and behind the camera. And we also saw that many years later in Freya Sky and Malachi Burton's friendship, because no matter who we were, we saw something special in their friendship. The way they recorded that duet dream come true, where I posted a video earlier today where I talked about how special that song meant to my heart, and so many people have watched it. It's up to so many views already within hours. I think that no matter who comes in and out of these franchises, these characters that have withstood the test of time and been a part of our lives for forever, like Dove Cameron, who was one of the strongest people that I ever saw in my life, enduring what she had to endure, which eventually became Quality Control's character Red, which was a powerful representation of just how much further fearlessness can really take a person in this lifetime, and never really caring what somebody thinks of you. I think that these characters definitely offered a lot of inspiration to the stars that brought them to life, and what was so cool about it was we really got to know who they were as people. They shared stories with you guys. You shared your stories with them about what made you fans of them, why you drew so much inspiration from them. And that's really what allowed us to really bring these franchises to life. Because it's never about the magic that happens, the CGI special effects, or the music. It's about how you bring these franchises to life as fans, as a fandom. Because collectively, you guys came together, you saw something special in your favorite stars, thought they were the strongest people in the world and by far some of the most inspirational ever. And that's what made this franchise so special and undeniably so unforgettable. I know that a lot of content creators are never really honest with you guys about how Descendants of Zombies has made them feel, but Descendants of Zombies has held a very special place in my heart for the obvious reasons. How powerful these characters were and their exemplification of strength and power, and how people like Quality Control are going through their power era. That's what makes this so special, seeing Quality Control represent herself in this power era, because from within this power era, Quality Control has morphed into a very powerful person, and she's encouraging people to become far more stronger than ever before, and represent themselves in ways that only they want to be represented through how much music they love, or what kind of music they love, or what character is their favorite Disney character of all time, or their favorite Disney princess. Because I don't care who you are. I know that a lot of people have felt very differently about Disney princesses and their stories. I've experienced every single one of them. Everybody out there has a favorite Disney princess that they dream of being just like, because of their story and how they drew so much inspiration from it. And they felt confident more than ever before because of seeing that story for the first time ever. Because what do you think makes the story of a princess so cool? It's no matter how many times you see it, the story is told differently. And that's what's always made this so special. I know that the fans of Descendants of Zombies will forever and always hold a very special place in my heart, and I will never forget any of you. That's the one thing that I will always remember about you guys, is how I shared every story that I possibly could with you guys in an attempt, a desperate attempt, if you would, to bring these stories to life. Because I say desperate because I never knew how people were going to respond to these videos, or how well received these videos would go on to become. You guys could have thought these were the worst videos ever, but you didn't, because I was very poorly financed. I came from nothing. My parents were very poorly financed. They didn't really have a whole lot of money to back my dream and support my dream of being a content creator, either a content creator or a radio show host, or I was going to choose to be a pro wrestler. And either one of those three dreams seemed so unrealistic back in 1999, but every one of my dreams came true, especially my dream of posting and creating relatable content, because what it came down to was never how much money I had or how I created this channel, because anybody can create a YouTube channel within 5 minutes. The process to sign up for YouTube is literally within 5 minutes. Come up with a channel name, come up with the URL, and click send. And once you submit it, you get a chance to create and upload videos and create your own version of what you believe is relatable content. It's all about how you'll bring these videos to life that is relatable to people, so people can really hear and see where you're coming from. Because to tell people that you're a fan of Descendants of Zombies is one thing to go about doing it. One way of going about doing it forever and always, that will be a way of going about doing it. But when you can really touch somebody's heart through the videos that you create, that's what makes every video that you will go on to create, which eventually became over 1,000 for me. Precisely over 1,055 videos have been uploaded here, and that's more than any Descendants of Zombies content creator has ever created for you guys. I do it because I see something so special from within these franchises and within all of your hearts, because I know what it's like to buy that Freya Sky t-shirt or that Freya Sky hoodie and wear it for the first time ever. You know, years ago I was very passionate about collecting Mickey Mouse merch, as you guys see on display in these videos, every video that I create, because I saw so much kindness in what Mickey Mouse's character would represent for over 100 years. almost at 1,000, but over 100 years. I think that Disney's had a very unique way of telling their version of the stories that we grew up on, like stories about Sleeping Beauty, Princess Aurora, stories about Princess Ariel, of course, the story between herself and Eric, and how she just wanted to experience human life and experience life from within the surface, and finding true love in so many unique ways. And how Belle was represented by not only just being beautiful, but also being very intelligent and so kind to everybody she surrounded herself with. And I think in real life scenarios, your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars have drawn inspiration from that. So much inspiration, perhaps, that they deserve more credit for having drawn, because I think everybody has a dream of really bringing a life like Disney Princess to life and being the closest resemblance ever that they possibly could be to that princess. Because no matter who you are, you want to take a chance on believing in forever. You want a chance on achieving your dreams, because there are far more stronger girls out there than ever given credit for. Girls are some of the strongest forces in the world because they make the world spin on its axis. And I know a lot of guys really don't tell you this, but the thing is, if a guy would really understand how a girl wants everybody to be happy around her, that she surrounds herself with, the world would be a better place, and a more welcoming place, and a heartwarming place, and a heartwarming experience for all of us. I've always believed that, because girls are what pretty much makes sense in this world, and this niche is pretty much made up of 95% female. And the thing is, guys, sometimes it's really hard to create relatable videos for the girls out there that love Descendants of Zombies so much, because you never know how well received each video that you create is going to be. It's because they know who they love and they know what they love, and when they see a good story, they want that story told in the way they want it heard and told. They don't want it heard from a ridiculous point of view that's never really made any sense to anybody, while encouraging them that there is a dream and a hope for every story that we've seen from within Descendants of Zombies, like how Zed and Addison were going to spend the rest of their lives together. You thought of it, you believed in it, and it happened. And you think of it in Freya Sky and Melika Burton, you've seen it represented, and you believe that it's going to happen, so it should be. And it will be, because of how much we trust in that. And how, if we're going to make any predictions at all about Zombies 5, it's going to be something special to experience. And I look forward to experiencing that and sharing in this wonderful experience with all of you, because you are what makes these videos so special. I mean, before all of you became a part of my life, a very valued part of my life at that, I was a video gamer. So pretty much I have every video game in creation for Descendants, for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. And honestly, guys, I don't know what I'd be doing with my life if you guys never allowed me to represent you as your voice of Descendants of Zombies, to offer you encouragement that such things like Descendants 5 and Zombies 5 were eventually going to happen. I know that people are predicting Zombies 5 is going to happen in the summer of 2027, which obviously it is, but I think it's relatively too soon to really forecast what a release window is going to be for Zombies, because if you ask me, I don't know when Zombies 5 is coming out. I'm just offering speculation on what I think the release date is going to be, like many of us are, because many of us act like the smartest person ever when it comes to Descendants of Zombies in terms of content creators, but the smartest people that have existed for this franchise are from within that franchise. Because growing up as a fan of Descendants of Zombies, that's pretty much all you've ever known. No matter what your age is, how old you are, where you come from, what your situation or circumstances are, all you've ever known is what it feels like to be a fan of Descendants of Zombies from within your heart. And nobody deserves to discourage your hopes and dreams of anything really ever happening for Descendants of Zombies. What we've got to do as content creators is encourage you that something special is going to happen. And people like Clarke and Freya Sky will continue to showcase their strength and exemplify their power, because exemplification of power and authority from within this industry is something very, very honorable. And I think it deserves to be honored, because Clarke is experiencing her power. Freya Sky is morphing into a very powerful person and becoming stronger every day with the fan support and how people buy her merch and are very supportive of her, because winning the hearts of every fan of Freya Sky was the greatest honor that I ever had and the most fun that I ever had in my life. And if there's one thing I always wanted the Freya Sky fandom to know, is that thank you so much for your love and support, because without you I have no idea where I'd be out there in the world tonight. I know I'd be somewhere, but I have no idea where I'd be, because the thing is, nobody really knows what our futures have in store. All we can do is speculate on what we think the future is going to really present us with. I think for everybody's future, there's a chance presented to really make something of yourself. And if you have a chance presented to yourself to really make something of yourself and your legacy, to define your legacy, you should really seize those opportunities, because they are limited. And because they are limited, I think that everybody defines themselves through a legacy they eventually leave behind. And I've always wanted my legacy to have something to do with Disney, which eventually became Descendants and Zombies. I had no idea how I would ever cement or achieve that legacy, but I did because of all of you. And I have all of you to thank for having made this your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel. So from the bottom of my heart, in the final few seconds I have here this evening, before the sun sets and I sign off for the night, thank you so much for the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel and always had from within your hearts, because your love and support is what's made this YouTube channel so special and truly unforgettable for me. Because if I had it my way, these franchises will truly last forever, and who's to say they will never last forever? Because as long as you believe in something special happening for your favorite stars, and continue to believe that they are the strongest people we've ever seen in our lives, something special is bound to happen for each and every single one of us. We are setting ourselves up to become a part of history, and we will be a part of history eternally and forever and always. Thank you so much for all the love and support you've always had for this YouTube channel and had for me as the voice of Descendants and Zombies, and for having made me your voice of Descendants and Zombies, because it became the greatest honor and the most fun that I've ever had in my life. Thank you so much for always and forever having a wonderful place in your hearts for Descendants and Zombies, a very special place at that, and thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel, and as always, thank you so much for having watched this video.